Have you ever encountered someone who seems to live in their own world, where everything revolves around them? Have you ever dealt with someone who, despite their apparent charm, turns out to be extremely self-centered and manipulative? In today's video, we will explore the behaviors and characteristics of a narcissist, helping you recognize them instantly. You'll learn to identify warning signs to protect yourself and your relationships from possible manipulation and emotional abuse. With these tools, you'll be better prepared to defend yourself and maintain your emotional integrity when faced with individuals who try to dominate and control you. First and foremost, it's essential to clearly distinguish a narcissist from a psychopath and a sociopath. Although these individuals are similar, they represent very different personality types with important implications for our interpersonal relationships. A narcissist is a person with narcissistic personality disorder. This condition is characterized by an exaggerated sense of self-importance, an insatiable need for admiration, and a marked lack of empathy for others. They often display egocentric behavior and an obsession with success, beauty, or idealized self-images. A narcissist can manipulate or exploit others to achieve personal gain, showing little to no regard for others' feelings. Their self-esteem is typically fragile beneath the surface, making them vulnerable to criticism or failure, though they rarely admit it openly. A psychopath, on the other hand, exhibits antisocial behavior, shows no empathy or remorse, and is often impulsive with a strong inclination towards criminal or morally questionable acts. Finally, a sociopath shares many characteristics with a psychopath, but their antisocial tendencies generally result from difficult environments and life experiences rather than an innate predisposition. Both psychopaths and sociopaths are marked by a significant lack of empathy, meaning they have difficulty or are incapable of understanding and sharing the feelings of others. This lack of empathy is a central feature that contributes to their antisocial behavior, which goes against social norms and often results in harmful or criminal actions. They tend to violate the rights of others without showing remorse for their actions. Narcissists, however, are primarily focused on themselves. While they may have some difficulty with empathy, it's not absent to the extent seen in psychopaths or sociopaths. Narcissists are obsessed with their own image and how others perceive them. They have an excessive need for admiration and attention and often exaggerate their abilities and successes to achieve what they desire. Their self-esteem largely depends on external recognition, and they can manipulate others to maintain their idealized self-perception. When we say that every psychopath is a narcissist, we mean that a psychopathic individual often shows narcissistic traits like an inflated sense of self-worth and the tendency to exploit others for personal gain without any guilt or remorse. However, not all narcissists are psychopaths. Many individuals with narcissism, despite having a grandiose view of themselves and a partial lack of empathy, do not engage in the extreme antisocial behavior and cold, calculated manipulation typical of psychopaths. The average narcissist does not possess the emotional coldness, aggression, and total disregard for social rules and laws that characterize psychopathic individuals. In summary, while narcissists can be problematic in interpersonal relationships due to their excessive self-focus and need for admiration, psychopaths and sociopaths pose a more severe danger to society due to their complete lack of empathy and openly antisocial behavior. Encountering a narcissist can still be highly destabilizing and sometimes deeply damaging to our emotional health. But how can we recognize a narcissist before their actions negatively impact our lives? Here are 9 key signs to help you identify a narcissist and protect yourself from their manipulations. 1. Grandiosity. The narcissist lives in a world where they perceive themselves as superior to everyone else, often exaggerating their abilities and successes. This trait, where the individual has an exaggerated belief in their importance and superiority, manifests through a distorted self-view, seeing themselves as exceptional and destined for great things far beyond a healthy sense of self-esteem. For example, a narcissist might believe they are the best in their professional field without having the skills or achievements to back it up. Narcissists not only enjoy their successes, but tend to inflate or invent them to impress others and maintain their superior image. 2. Need for admiration. This is another central trait of narcissism. Narcissistic people have an insatiable desire to be the center of attention and to receive praise and compliments from others. This need is not just a preference for recognition, it is a cornerstone of their self-esteem and self-perception. A narcissist feeds off the admiration of others as their primary source of personal validation. Without constant reassurances, compliments, and attention, a narcissist can feel empty, insecure, and even depressed. Their search for admiration is a continuous effort to fill this inner void and maintain their self-perception of importance. 3. Lack of empathy. This characteristic involves a substantial inability to understand or share the feelings of others. It's a deficit that represents not just a difficulty in relating emotionally to others, but a persistent indifference to others' thoughts, emotions, and experiences. This deeply defines how a narcissist interacts with the external world. A narcissist is so focused on themselves and their own needs that the perspectives and needs of others become almost invisible. This lack of empathy manifests as emotional indifference, where narcissists can appear cold or detached when someone shares significant experiences or emotions. They may quickly change the subject or show signs of irritation if the conversation does not revolve around them. 4. Manipulation. This is a fundamental characteristic of narcissistic behavior, where the narcissist uses people as tools to achieve their own goals. In this dynamic, people become mere pawns in a game designed to satisfy the narcissist's needs or desires without any consideration for the consequences their actions might have on others. In the context of manipulation, the narcissist is skilled at recognizing and exploiting others' vulnerabilities for personal gain. This can include behaviors such as flattering someone to gain favors, distorting the truth to avoid responsibility, or using guilt and shame to control and dominate. 5. Sensitivity to criticism. Narcissists tolerate very little criticism, perceiving it as a direct attack on their sense of superiority and their idealized image. This sensitivity is deeply rooted in the fragility of their self-esteem. Despite appearing extremely confident, they are incredibly vulnerable to anything that might threaten their self-perception. They react to criticism in extreme ways, seeing it not as an opportunity for growth, but as an assault on their person. When they feel diminished, contradicted, or exposed, their response is often disproportionate and can manifest as anger, contempt, or even verbal and behavioral aggression. 6. Problematic interpersonal relationships. Narcissists are often at the center of stories of turbulent friendships and romantic relationships. This trait emerges from their tendency to perceive others not as individuals with their own feelings, needs, and desires, but as tools or means to achieve their own ends. This utilitarian view of human relationships leads to a series of dysfunctional behaviors that can create conflicts, misunderstandings, and broken emotional bonds. 7. Superficial charm. Superficial charm is a common characteristic in narcissists who often present an extremely charismatic and attractive image, especially in the initial stages of a relationship. This charm is deliberately designed to attract and seduce. leveraging others' admiration and desire to be associated with someone so charming and dynamic. 8. Exploitation. Exploitation is a common practice among narcissists who use situations and people for their personal advantages without showing remorse or guilt. This behavior is based on the belief that others exist primarily to serve their interests or contribute to their success and well-being. In the narcissistic context, exploiting others is almost second nature and is done quite systematically. In conclusion, narcissistic behavior is a direct manifestation of a self-centered worldview. Narcissists treat others as resources to be consumed rather than as individuals with their own rights. This tendency not only damages their relationships, but in the long run can undermine their own well-being, often leaving them isolated and in conflict with the world around them. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If it has opened your eyes to aspects of narcissism you hadn't considered, please give us a like and share it with anyone who might benefit from it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. See you in the next video.